What's up, everybody? Another wonderful Monday night at Chewin the BBQ Fat. We got to compete this weekend. We had a great time. It was so good seeing everybody. Hopefully, we got to come by and say hello. I know I met a lot of y'all this weekend. Had a great time. Me and my new buddy are here. That's my buddy. They called him Bacon at the house. So excited about that trophy. We just had a great time at Pussyq. What an awesome show. What an awesome contest. Great time had by all. Looking forward to it. And speaking of contests, I got two guys coming on, two different contests that we're going to give guys a quick opportunity to talk about their show. And then I've got Myron and Brad coming on to talk Memphis in May. It's going to be a great show. Looking forward to it. Y'all buckle up. Let's get ready and let's start talking about barbecue. First, I'm going to bring on Kent Schultz here from Indiana Hoosier Classic, or the Hoosier Classic, right?
Hoosier Barbecue Classic. Yep.
Barbecue Classic. Thanks, Aaron. Hey, man, go ahead. Tell everybody a little about your contest you got going.
Third year for the contest up in Franklin, Indiana. It is a double. It takes place June 17th through 19th. Double KCBS Master Series. Also on Friday night, there is a one meat rib burn through KCBS and turkey smoke on Saturday and a kids queue. I mean, if you can't figure out a way to cook at this event, then quite honestly, you don't need to be cooking anymore, because really the committee has put together a great event and lots of opportunities to get out and cook. It is a Smoking with Smithfield event, so an extra $3,000 going into the prize purse. Thanks to our good friends at Smoking with Smithfield. And I like that pig there, Brian.
I love it. Nice. I love it. People are asking to see the pig. I'm very excited about this trophy. It's a lot of fun. How can people
I was watching awards as we were driving home from Dwight, and I was happy to hear that for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're very. Yep. I wasn't able to be there. My wife was there. It was really cool.
Okay.
Gotcha. How can people sign up for your contest?
HoosierBarbecueClassic.com is the website. And again, like I said, it is a double, June 17th through 19th. I know it's Father's Day weekend, and we get a lot of flack because, hey, it's Father's Day. We want to do stuff with Dad. I get it. I understand. And the people that are saying, hey, I don't want to go out and cook a double, don't feel obligated to come out and do that. Really, quite honestly, we just want to have a good time with everybody. So if you want to come out and cook Saturday, we're more than happy. We have a lot of teams that come out and just cook Saturday, but those guys that are in it looking for the points, we've got a good opportunity to get them through the double, and then also, like I said, the turkey smoke, the rib burn then Friday night. So awesome. Over $16,000 getting given away for the weekend. We've got some good sponsors with all of a sudden it escaped me there. With Dixie Chopper and the such that really have helped us to do this, and all the funds from the event will go to help support Mission 000, which really helps to support our veterans, bring awareness to the epidemic that we've got with the suicide rate with the veterans. So again, another barbecue organization that's really helping to support our veterans that we wanted to partner with. So
awesome.
That's what's going on with the event. Again, it's up
Please
in Indiana.
Sign up, guys.
And I know, here's the thing. I keep hearing this because I listen. I'm out there a lot. People say Indiana's not a great place to cook. Really, we're not that mean. And we're, people say, they don't like cans over there. I'll tell you, they do. Good barbecue wins in Indiana. I will tell you, they're very honest, and they can be brutally honest. So the judges can be a little strict, or no, I wouldn't say strict. Can be real honest with you if they don't like it, but they are pretty good judges. So
well, good. That sounds like Good Food's going to win
anyway.
Awesome. Hey, everybody, sign up for that contest. I've heard a lot of wonderful things. I know we are going to try to get up there, but guess what? We have baseball. I appreciate it, Kent. Thanks for coming on, and we will see you soon out on the barbecue shoot.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, man. All right. We got another one real quick. This is Shannon and Christy Graham. They got a BCA contest coming up in Glencoe, Alabama. Is this correct?
Absolutely.
That's right.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about that real quick. I know that to me, this is so exciting because BCA is something I've heard a lot about, don't know anything about it, but y'all are expanding. So cool. So tell me what's going on here.
The BCA will be held on Saturday. This will be the first BCA event in North Alabama, really for come north off the coast for the very first time. It's a 3-meat contest: chicken, ribs, and brisket. Hour and a half turn in apart.
No pork. I'm out.
No pork.
No pork.
That's right. Yeah, hour and a half apart on turn-ins. It's a festival we'll have in the park also at the same time to raise money for Christmas for kids. Something our local fire department's done for over 30 years. So we're excited to have the first BCA SCA in North Alabama.
Awesome. How do people sign up for this contest?
Barbecue Competitors Alliance on that page, and the SCA page for the SCA event on Friday night. Be a single steak and 2 ancillaries.
Friday night, the 3rd, June 3rd. It's just, we're doing bacon and wings as our ancillary, and then 1 steak. So just go to the SCA website to sign up for that one, and then the BCA for Saturday.
Perfect. So you can go just to the BCA sanctioning body's website, and then they can look up the Glencoe, Alabama contest, and they can sign up there.
Yes, it's the only one listed right now.
Awesome. And I know you're also trying to get a KCBS contest going there in Glencoe Pro contest also, correct?
Yes, we've discussed that, and later in the year, and we hold a 2-meat and a 3-meat KCBS event in August also.
Okay.
For backyard.
Awesome. Man, I do appreciate y'all bringing that out and expanding. I think that's great. I love how barbecue is growing and expanding and doing wonderful things. So that's awesome. So y'all please sign up for this. If we want to see these things grow, I think we need to support these contests and do what it takes to get them out there. So go to the BCA's website, sign up. And what is there a payout for this? Is there a decent sized payout, or is it not going to be payout?
$3,000 on the steak, and then $3,000 on the BCA event. And the more teams that sign up, the more money we'll move or pay out.
Awesome. I love it. Shannon, Christy, thank you so much. I'm sorry to rush you. We just got a big show tonight. I wanted y'all to get on here tonight, be able to push your push your contest, and see if we can have that be a sellout crowd there.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. Y'all have a wonderful night, and we will see y'all soon. It was great seeing y'all this weekend too. That was a lot of fun. So
great to see you too.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. All right, everybody. There's so many contests going on, so much stuff happening. I love it. But man, I've been really excited about this show. I've thought about it a lot. You know, if y'all have been listening, Brad, he's the one that brought it up. One time he was on the show before when he was talking about Memphis in May later. And he said, it'd be really cool to see if we can get Myron Mixon on. Myron Mixon is he's the champ, right? He's winningest man in barbecue. Myron Mixon is the guy. So we got him to come on. He's agreed to come on tonight with Brad from, I guess we're going to call him Blues Hog now. Instead of getting basted for this weekend of Memphis in May. It is Memphis in May week, guys. Huge week. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bring these two guys on. I'm so excited, so proud. Please share the pay, lunch pay, let's get everything out there and ask questions. But anyway, Myron, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good.
Great. Thank you so much for coming on. Good to see you. It was great seeing you this weekend. And at Boost Cube.
I can't hardly hear you.
Okay, I can barely hear you too. Let me see. Let me see if I can bring Brad on real quick too. Hey, Brad, are you there?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear Myron very well though.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's.
How about now?
I mean, I can hear you, but it's not real loud. That's what we do here at Chewin the BBQ Fat.
Gotcha.
Now we got it. Hey, there we go.
There
That's
we go.
Myron, I know. Hey, real quick before we get started about Memphis in May, I saw something. Somebody posted something. You're coming up to Jaymore Farms here in a couple weeks with some of the Georgia the agriculture commissioner, and y'all are doing a contest. Is that correct? Is that something that y'all got going on, Myron?
We're doing on the 17th.
Yes, sir.
17th. We're up there. All I know I'm supposed to be doing is feeding and barbecue. I don't know nothing about a contest.
Oh, okay. I thought it said some bring teams and you were going to be a judge trying people's food. Maybe not.
Well, I wouldn't doubt I'm not, but my son David always schedules me for stuff, then lets me know at the last minute.
There you go. I thought it was really cool. Jaymore Farms is not far from me, So I was like, man, maybe I'm going to come up there and check it out, see what it's all about.
Come up there. I'm sure if you've heard that, I'm probably doing it.
Awesome. Myron, real quick, go ahead and I know this is a Memphis in May show tonight, but you're much bigger than Memphis in May. But if you don't mind, just tell everybody your credentials in Memphis in May or for the MBN.
I've been doing Memphis in May since 1996. And what everybody, I mean, the MBN today is what runs the circuit as far as your contest you have every week. But back in the day, from the 80s through early 2000s, Memphis in May itself actually ran the circuit. The winners, the grand champions from those MIM contests, 50 plus, used to feed the world championship. If you won a grand championship, you got automatic paid for entry into the world championship. Early 2000s, Memphis May decided to start focusing strictly on the world championship. And that's when the MBN came into play. Well, first it was the MBA, Memphis Barbecue Association, which wound up going into the MBN, Memphis Barbecue Network. And I've been doing it a long time. Back when I was doing 45 contests a year for like 15 years, most of those were Memphis May or MBN contests. So I was cooking hogs, shoulders, and ribs for the whole period of time. And since 1996, I won 5 world championships there at Memphis May.
That's awesome. And Brad, you and Tim, I guess it's you and Tim. I'm not sure exactly.
For better or worse, it is going to be me, Tim.
So y'all went to Memphis last year for the first time.
We did. Well, we cooked ribs back before. Man, I can't remember what year it was. Maybe 18, 17. We got 4th place in ribs at our first one, and then last year we cooked shoulders. So this will be our 3rd time there.
Okay. So last year you cooked shoulders and you won shoulder.
We did.
Right? And Myron, you won the whole thing last year with whole hog, correct?
Yeah, won it with whole hog. Hog is, I believe hog has got an advantage. Not saying it because I cook it. I believe hog does have an advantage because it's the hardest thing, in my opinion, to cook and get it perfect all over. Because you not only have different thicknesses of meat, you have different textures of meat, from ham to shoulder to loin to the bacon itself, cheek meat, tenderloins. All that stuff has got different textures and different states of doneness, and it's the hardest, in my opinion, to get right. And I believe if a hog, who's ever hog, is on point the day of judging, they've got an advantage over the other 2 categories. I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, we agree with them 100%. I mean, when we left there, we couldn't cook a shoulder better, and we presented it well, and Myron beat us. And when we were walking out of there, we're like, if we're going to win the whole thing, man, we got to go, we got to go whole hog. So we decided in last year, if we're going to go play that game, let's go play it, let's go all in. And so that's why we're cooking hog this year.
I mean, I think you made the comment, like, in order to win it, Myron's the guy that you got to go through, right?
I mean, all the ones you got to go through are cooking hog. I mean, you got Myron, you got Melissa, you got Brad from the shed. I mean, Tuffy's won it, and from shoulder. Crystal Lily's won it from shoulder. But the big players there are cooking hog, and we've got to go and win or lose right there on those terms, cooking that hog. So that's what we're going to do, and see how it plays out. It's fun to go in there and do something new. I've done 350 KCBS contests, and I love doing Memphis May because it takes me so far out of my comfort zone, and it's something new and something fun.
So Myron, what do you think? What do you feel to hear new people coming into the Memphis that they feel like Myron's the guy, I've got to go through Myron to win? Does that make you change your approach at all, or what does that do to you as cooking as the defending champion?
No, it doesn't make me do anything that I would change. And I'd argue the point, every dog has his day. And, last year I think was just my day or my team's day. But I agree about far as whole hog. You got a lot of teams that's picked up this year and moved into hog. Hog, I think, has gained 5 or 8 inches this year over what it normally does. And I think people have also seen that, if you're going to win it, or play to win it and win the overall, you got to be in the hog category. And, it wouldn't surprise me if I didn't see Tuffy and and Lily over there trying to cook a hog sooner or later. But it's the strongest category. Hog is strongest. Doesn't have as many entries, but I'm just telling you, when you go in and start cooking hogs, most of the people that's doing it know what they're doing. You know, and I'm not knocking the rib category, but I'm just going to tell you, like it is, you got a lot of party teams getting ribs because they can go down. Well, they could go down there at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, put them on and be judged at 1:30. Well, now they flipped it, and hog now is going to be judged at 1:30, and ribs are going to be judged first. So the party teams are going to have to maybe not party as much and get down there a little bit earlier in the morning to put the ribs on. I imagine I wouldn't be surprised if you have some of them raising hell about that. They probably have been raising hell about it because it's a lot of difference getting up at 7 or 8 and putting ribs on for a 1:30 turn-in, and now you got 10 o'clock turn-in.
Ooh. Wow, that is a big difference. So what all, I know, Brad, you said you started with ribs and y'all did shoulder, now you're doing hog. Myron, what one do y'all normally, have you always done whole hog?
Always done whole hog.
Okay, and you can only pick one category, correct, at Memphis and May?
You can only pick one. Back in the day when we were running Team of the Year, we were Team of the Year 9 times. Out of those 9, there was several of them where we won all 3 categories. It was Team of the Year in all 3. And we could go pretty well in just about all the categories, but we knew then hog's always been my best, regardless of whether you got an advantage of cooking or not. I've always felt like I was proficient in whole hog. But to win the world championship, and I've seen ribs win it, I've seen shoulders win it, but I've seen hog win it more times than not.
That's awesome. So, Brad, what are y'all, and I'll ask you this in a second, Myron, what are y'all cooking on at Memphis and May?
We're going to do what we do, man. We've got big old drums. So we've got some, and I don't know how big they are. You've probably seen them on, Tim running around with them. But they have 4 fire baskets in it. It's got a winch to lift the lid up and down, and we've got 2 of them. And, we're going to cook 3 hogs and just, that's what we know how to do, and it's a compelling story. I mean, that's part of it, and that's the fun thing about Memphis is, most of the time KCBS, you put your stuff in a box, you shut it, you go give it to, as Myron say, a bunch of eaters. They don't have a clue what you went through or what happened to get that meat to that point. Where Memphis, you got an opportunity to sit there and explain yourself, which is really fun. And the story of Blues Hog is compelling, and the story of Gateway Drums, and we're doing things differently than anybody's ever done. And the 2 times that we've done with Memphis, we've seen the judges very receptive to that. So we're not going to go out there and try to cook a way we don't know how to cook. We know hot and fast. We know how to cook on drums. That's what we're going to do.
Right. Myron, you have your own hog cooker, correct?
Yeah, up until last year, we built on line of smokers, and I've been a big advocate of my H2O's water cookers. I've cooked on water since 1996 when I started competing. Mm-hmm. Last year was the first time with our, I guess you say our latest, greatest was our FG72, which is our reverse flow gravity. And I had been playing around with a prototype over here at the compound probably 8 or 9 months before last year's World Championship come around, and got it dialed in. Well, I could cook hot and fast with the water cookers because water allows you to do that and not degrade the quality of the meat. The gravities, in my opinion, the sweet spot on them is somewhere in the 225 to 240 range. And that's where I had to learn to cook with these. Where I used to have to wrap the water cooker hogs, I don't have to wrap these. And it gets a perfect golden red mahogany color. I mean, it's just perfect, but you got to cook a total different style. And I love it. I love it. One thing I love about it is it's more consistent. I don't have to do as much fire management. I love fire management, but sometimes the people cooking with you might, you leave them in charge and you come back and something ain't the way it ought to be. It doesn't take long in fire management using stick burners. Temperature goes up and down or something happens. But when you're using lump charcoal and you got that guru set in there and dialed in short of a power failure, it's going to be during the same temp it's supposed to run regardless. Mm-hmm. And we have learned to turn out great hogs with them. So that's what we'll be running this year. We mounted 2 brand new ones last year on the trailer where I had the water cookers. First time we ever cooked on them, never even break them in. And, breaking in a smoker now ain't like it was 20 years ago. Back then, steel had oil on it and everything else. Insides these cook chambers are stainless, chrome racks. I mean, you ain't got to go in there and grease them up and do all the kind of stuff you used to do to them, unless you're cooking on cast iron grates and stuff like that, which we're not. But it turned out pretty well. And we'll be doing 2 hogs this year, cooking on the same smokers, and pretty much the same.
Awesome. So, Brad, you said you're cooking 3. What's the story on? I mean, Myron's cooking 2. I'm just asking.
We're a third worse than Myron, so we need to go ahead and hedge our bets. Nah, that's what we figured we could do. We haven't done this a lot, and it's certainly we're gonna cook a little more product just to give ourselves a chance to get a good blind box in and have some good stuff, for the judges and in a whole hog there for the final if we're fortunate enough to make it through. So that's what we can do. And frankly, Tim's paying for the pigs. They're his pigs. So his dad's got a huge hog farm up there on the Missouri River. And he's been, these are loved pigs. His kids have been like bottle feeding them and stuff. So he had 3 of them. So he's bringing in the hogs. So we might as well. I cook 4, since Tim is paying.
Don't never name your competition hog. Don't never name it.
I don't know if his girls are going to be there or not to watch it get cooked, but I've seen plenty of pictures of his girls with them. They do show hogs and stuff. You see Tim, like I'm scrolling on my phone down there. I'm on TikTok. If you see Tim on there, he's probably trying to buy some pig semen for the next best breeding thing. So it's leave him alone when he's on his phone.
I bought a lot of stuff online. I've never bought that before.
I asked him one time, and I wish I wouldn't have. So he's like, "Well, you could have lied about that one to me, Tim."
That's awesome. Well, so I don't know much, right? Like I don't know how much of our viewers. We have pretty much a KCBS. Most of our viewers are KCBS cooks, I would say. So I'm not sure how many of them are completely knowledgeable about what y'all do. So what kind of, I know there's different types of pork and everything that we're cooking. Myron, is there a certain type of pig you're looking for? I know Brad's talking about they got a.
Everybody now is doing heritage breed of some kind. 15 years ago, the big comeback for heritage breeds was Berkshire. And since then, that's the Duroc. Every major line out there has got a Duroc line, Smithfield, Tyson. All of them's got their own Duroc line you can find in your meat case at your big box stores. But there is something to the heritage breeds. I mean, heritage breed pork all came here between 1814 and 1822 from England. They're looking at high marbling, high fat content hogs. Really true, we like to lost some of the breeds. When the 60s roll around, your scientists and your doctors all talking about the bad pork fat. We almost bred them to where you grow hogs to where there's 99% fat free. And but they did make a comeback, Berkshire being the first. The ones that we're using now come from M&T Meats over in Hopkinsville, Georgia. It's about 14 miles due east of me. We use our hogs for our cook schools and everything else. But it's a cross between Duroc and Hampshire. So I'll have 2 of those pigs, same pigs I had last year. But I mean, you got Mangalese, you got a lot of people growing hogs now. And the heritage breed hogs, that's the way to go. I mean, it's the way to go. That's why I tell everybody about Wagyu briskets. Most of the time in comps doing KCBS, you might as well get one because everybody else is cooking them. If you want to be competitive, you got to do what your competitors are doing.
It's true. What size hog? Derek Johnson wants to know what size is the perfect competition size for whole hog. Is that like a widely debated topic, or is there pretty much a?
Well, first you got to decide how hot you're going to be cooking, and your timeline. That's going to dictate it. Back in the day when I was doing H2Os, water cookers, cooking. I cooked 225 pounders, but I was running 250, 275. Now I had to back it back around. And I'm doing 24-hour cook, and I got to do about 140-pound hog, to be able to get that timeline in, cooking at 225, 230. So I dropped 70 pounds because my temperature's gone down to what I cook at, so therefore my timeline is lengthened. I used to cook a 200-pound hog in 16 hours.
Wow. What are y'all doing, Brad?
No, we got, I think ours are around 180 in that neighborhood. So, yeah,
and that's dressed, right? Is it called dressed when they're done, or
Dress
is that
weight.
dressed?
Yeah.
Dress weight.
Yeah. And we're running a heritage breed, same thing, but some Duroc and whatever else Tim mixed in there. So, but you're right. Like, whoever came up with that other white meat marketing campaign for pork, man, I hope that guy lost his job, because they damn near ruined the industry. They started
They like
chicken.
You're exactly right, Brad. They like to have ruin it. And
man, that was a disaster. But hopefully, I mean, that, and that's what we look for. Anything, and here's a case of yes, or marbling's king. That's what wins contests. You find a marble piece of meat.
So. No, I mean, I know I can go to the store, I can go buy a case of pork butts, and I can sift through it, and I can find which one's marbled. How do you do that in a whole hog? I mean, you're pretty, or can you? I mean, is it?
Trust the genetics, I guess, at that point.
That's all you can do. You got to be able to trust where you're getting the hogs at, the breeders, the grower. I mean, they could slip in, but you can look at a heritage breed hog. They're red meat hogs. You can look at them. I can look at them. When I'm looking down at them and they're on their backs, I can tell a lot of difference in that and what the grow hogs we used to get back in the day were. But far as the actual marbling down in the meat and everything, you just got to depend on the genetics and the people that's growing the hogs for you, that they've turned out what they've turned out for you in the past is a good quality hog.
Yeah, that's crazy.
See, if I lose this time, I'm going to blame it on the damn grower.
That's right. Building the excuse, man. That's perfect. I always do that. But as I'm cooking with my normal excuse, I normally blame the damn sauce. I blame the blues hog. I got a bad batch. Well, shit, I'm cooking with him now, so I can't hardly blame him for it.
I was trying to set y'all up for that. That way, if it doesn't go right, it was the pig's fault, right?
It's never me. This last weekend, you guys must have brought some Georgia judges down there to Alabama. Is the only thing I can figure out that cost me my ribs.
You had a good cook. You had a good cook, Brad.
Man, I did, but I could have had a little better cook. Would have been better, a couple more spots, but hard to complain.
Where'd you finish?
That's a good contest. That was a really fun contest.
So I know we're talking about Memphis in May, but real quick, all three were at Pussyq. What'd y'all think about that contest? I mean, I felt like they really brought out the red carpet, did a great job. It was a wonderful time had by all, and I thought it was a great contest. What'd y'all think?
I think so too. I mean, you got your RV hookups, you had access to water. If it had been a big storm, I believe pretty much everybody would have been out of the mud. You got gravel, and the ones that didn't have gravel was on asphalt. Only thing you might have had to worry about is that creek come up and rose up. I've heard it. Someone was telling me that, it does flood sometimes, but it wasn't no chance of that. Casino was fun. They had some decent restaurants there in the casino. We stayed there and didn't have to go anywhere. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Those trophies were ridiculous. If anybody didn't see that, man. I mean, I think there you go, you got one right there. I got the second place beef one, and that GC trophy, I have no idea how that thing. I mean, I think it was still like 7 foot tall, had to be 400 or 500 pounds. It was ridiculous, but it's a good contest. I'll definitely be there again, and they did a great job down there.
I think it's neat stuff like this, the different trophies and little things like that make a contest go. And Myron, you've been you said Memphis in May since '96. I don't know how exactly long you've been cooking barbecue competitively, but how much? And Brad, you've cooked 350 KCBS contests. You said, how much have y'all seen barbecue change over the time?
I mean, I've seen a lot of it change. Back in the day, you had a handful, especially in the MAM side, that took it serious, concentrated on it. I was one of them, made a job out of it. Went in there and worked at it to win. You had a lot more partying going on, just a fact. You didn't have people as serious about it. You didn't have books, you didn't have classes, you didn't have the internet. I mean, you didn't have the equipment that people now are willing to buy, pay for, up their game. It's made a lot of difference. It's made a lot of difference in the quality of the cooks. It's made a lot of difference in the quality of the food turned in. But as far as the contests themselves, I ain't knocking down the organizers and something out there, but I remember in the day, we had $2,500 grands, $1,000 first, and they was paying in $100 bills. And you don't have many now. Pussyq is an exception, You don't have many that's much better than that today. On average, they're not much better than that today. You know, but the cost of doing them, and I'm not crying. You know, you got two options. A good friend of mine, Pat Burke, Tower Rock, also with Apple City. And, you know, he said, you always got two choices. When I was bitching back in the day when I was chasing him, he said, you can either cook it or you stay your ass home. And you know that when you leave about it, what it's paying or anything like that. And, you know when you leave, it's $5 diesel. You know, when you leave, you got $300 Wagyu briskets. You know, when you leave, you know, you got $400 worth of pork. So, but I'm just saying the prize money, except for a few exceptions, is not, in my opinion, any better than it was back in the day. But it's not deterring anybody from getting in it.
I don't think so. What do you think, Matt? Brad?
You know, I got into it back, you know, right when Pitmasters, that first season was going out, man. So I got into it watching guys like Myron and Johnny and Harry Sue and all those guys, man. Love that show. And that's what got me into it. I think right now we're kind of in a lull. I don't think there's as many people cooking. I think the price of it's gotten a little bit out of hand, and I don't know what you can do about it, but you know, nobody's doing it for the money. I mean, if you're doing it for the money, you're not doing the right thing. So, you know, it ebbs and flows. I really wish there'd be something else to come up and spur on some interest. And, you know, we need a better entry point, I think, in competition barbecue, but it really hasn't as far as what it's done to change. Like, you know, they were running more prime briskets maybe when I started, but it's always been like competition really hasn't changed that much, other than there aren't really any, you know, used to have contests that there weren't tough competition. Everybody can cook now. Like the margins are thin, you know, because of the internet, because of classes, because of everything else. There's a lot of people that step up and get calls and can win. And it's just harder to win now, I think, right now than it was, say, maybe 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I would say you too. Myron, you've been doing classes for a long time, and down at the compound, I know you've been doing classes.
I needed to get to one of those before this weekend. That was an oversight on my part to figure out that hog. I meant to. I've been talking about it for a year. I was like, I got to get down there that class. And next thing you know, here we are in Memphis, and I did not make it. So
that is a class that I have on my list that I definitely want to take for multiple reasons. I mean, everybody I know that has gone on and been successful, I've heard. I took Myron's class. Myron's his everything he's taught has been very well. Brad, you and Tim with your hot and fast class that y'all have done, a lot of people have taken that class. So these two guys that we have on tonight I would say have given a ton of information out to make barbecue what it is today. Now, this is my opinion. I think y'all two have really upped the barbecue game for everybody. And everybody's chasing you now, right? So that's what's going on. Everybody's chasing. Myron, you got Brad here, who's 3 years in a row, won or something close to that, 3 years in KCBS Team of the Year. Now he's coming after Myron in the Memphis in May shoulder or whole hog thing. Try, you know, I mean, it's really cool to see how this whole cycle is going, and what you two have done for barbecue as a whole. So for me personally, I think it's awesome, and I appreciate what y'all do. But how does that affect y'all in any way? I've met both of you. I know both of you, and you're both humble, down to earth people, very approachable. And I know people are afraid to talk to you guys sometimes, but what would you say to somebody that wanted to come talk to you?
Brad, I think he'll agree with me. You know, as far as teaching classes, the people that come up and talk to me, most of them are backyard enthusiasts. Still got some people out there that want to learn, but as far as competition, everybody's wanting to get in the same ditch and walk the same ditch. Am I right or wrong, Brad? Everybody's wanting that same. And I will guarantee you, flavor profiles are all a sliver of everybody else. That's what everybody wants to do. When I have my classes, it's a hands-on class, 65 students, and I'll look at every one of them in there, and I got some comp folks in there too. But in my opinion, the innovation, I reckon stretching or tapping on that envelope there a little bit is coming from the backyard. The barbecue enthusiast that has no wanting to do no camp competitions. They ain't studying that. They want to be better, to impress their friends, family, be better on my food truck, be better on my catering business, because comps, everybody's riding the same pony. It's just how many times you can pay that ticket and how many times you can ride it, you know. But and that's my opinion of it. And you know, and when you get on there and you find that winning ticket, your ass better stay in the driver's seat and keep running while the ticket's hot. You can't be great cooking team of the year points or being great on a circuit doing 3 or 4 or 5 contests a year. It don't happen.
Right.
You got to be in that truck seat, pulling that dually, pulling them trailers 20 to 45 times a year and do it every damn year to stay on top and stay relevant. That's a fact.
Yep. It'll pass you by in a hurry. And you know, people ask how you can do the classes and still win. And I think Myron touched on that, man. It's repetition, right? I mean, yeah, a class can get you a GC because everything kind of lined up and the tenderness lined up and nothing went wrong, so you win one. But then to sit there and win and be successful and put together top fives, there's nothing that replaces repetition. You've got to go out there and you've got to cook. You've got to put in the miles, and you just can't substitute that if you want to be up there winning every week and competitive every week. And as far as Myron's my neighbor at the Royal, and my favorite thing,
That's
man,
right.
is we run traffic over there for him. We'll just be everybody will walk right by me going over to, is Myron in there? I'm like, oh yeah, just walk right on in there. He's fine. He'll just talk to you. It's pretty funny watching. They actually have a guy sitting out there that's running crowd control when everybody walks by.
That's so TJ.
Yeah, it's funny to watch. And somebody come up, hey, I got a question for you. I'm like, yeah, what can I do for you? You think Myron would mind if I went and talk to him? Like, oh no, he loves it. Get over there. So it's always fun to watch. And sitting there and anonymity with next to Myron mixing there at the Royal. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, by all means, come out there and talk to Myron this weekend too, especially.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Brad.
No problem.
Oh, that's awesome. So let's real quick, and I'll get off of this subject. Myron, you were doing the Facebook Live demonstrations, and that was very big, very informative. Brad, y'all have the barbecue league, right? There's so much information out. If people want it, if people want to do it, you guys are giving them the information that they need to go out and be successful, correct? I mean, Myron, what you're doing is what you do on those. And Brad, we've discussed barbecue league a lot, right?
Sure.
We all know that what you do on that is what you do. Myron, that's what you do at a contest, correct?
Correct. I'm going to tell you something. I started doing classes in 05, and I was still running team of the year stuff with MBN. You cannot go in and shortchange your student, your customer, because if you go in there and you think you're going to bug them out and shoot them a bunch of line of crap or show them something that ain't real, it doesn't take long before they go and try it, word of mouth, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you're not doing classes anymore because you got the reputation not giving up anything, not helping anybody. And other than the fact that I do the free ad on KCBS on the bullshit and on the website and the FBA website, I've never paid for $1 of advertising. None. And it's always been word of mouth. And I wasn't even on the damn internet, Facebook, far as that went, until it all jumped out here in the last 10 years. The point is, if you give value, certifiable value to your customer, to your student, to your enthusiast, that they can take that information and they can go home or they can go to a contest and do better than they did before, then you'll sustain and you'll thrive. But if you go in and try to shoot a lot of bullshit, or you sitting over there, well, this is the time in my deal that I add this sauce. Not the sauce I use, but I'm going to add this sauce. I ain't going to keep coming back to you. They're not going to come to you. You got to be sincere. You got to be truthful. And you got to get right with yourself to where you feel like I've won. I can continue to win. May not win as much, but I can still win even though I'm giving it up. You got to give it up. You got to make a damn decision.
Somebody's going to
make it.
They're going to
make that decision.
Yeah. And I will tell you this. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but cooking against Myron, that SRF brisket online deal on Facebook, man, Myron's you don't cook very many KCBS contests a year, and you get a brisket call at every freaking one of them. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I would 100% recommend it, because he might be a whole hog cook, but he's a damn good brisket cook as well. And I watched that thing. That was a good piece of content. So I appreciate doing that. But yeah, they're going to go learn the class from somebody. Like if I don't teach it, Byron's going to teach it. Travis Clark's going to teach it. They're going to go get it from somebody. So, we've all got products to sell. We've got brands to sell. We've got everything else. So we might as well, you might as well give back and teach as well, because they're going to get it. They're going to, get it. And you can learn a lot of the class. I don't know if you've ever had this, Myron, but you got the guy that comes up there and it's like, hey, have you ever tried this? And you kind of look at it, it's like, that's the dumbest damn idea I've ever heard. You get your phone out and write out the notes real quick. It's like, yeah, put this in my stuff. So, sometimes people kind of get relaxed at your class. You end up learning quite a bit. I think I've learned more in my classes than I have anywhere else. Just people come up and ask me if I've done something. So
I agree with that. When the pandemic or whatever the hell you want to call it hit us, I couldn't do classes for like 3 or 4 months. And that's when I started doing the Facebook Live. I got tired of sitting. I love teaching. I love it. And that's when I did the several Facebook Live ones, and, wasn't getting paid a dime for it. But I enjoyed the interaction. I enjoyed, the chats back and forth, and later on the people were emailing me and stuff. It was fun. It gave me something to do here at the compound besides watching my brother and the rest of the guys working out there all the time.
How many more, Brad, I know I think y'all are done with classes. Myron, how many more classes? You do what, 5 or 6 classes a year, 6 classes a year?
No, I do 10 regular classes a year. We don't do them in July and August, and I'm booked in February 23 right now.
And what is there's one you do a year. What is it?
Do 2 of them now, the barbecue memories class, where we cook on replicas of my dad's masonry pits, brick pits.
Okay.
Where we actually, you got the wood, we burn them down in our burn barrels. Matter of fact, his burn barrels, they made 50 plus years ago. And we cook all his meats, all his sides he had in his takeout barbecue business. We got a smokehouse there at the pavilion where we actually make sausage, put them in the smokehouse. We take a tour here of a local heritage breed grower. We go and take that tour. It's like 2.5 days.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It's good. But with that class, I only take 15 students. So it's a lot more intimate. Got a local guy that comes over about 2 counties over, brings some shine liquor. It's pretty fun.
That's awesome. All right, so let's get back to Memphis in May. What makes Memphis in May a special contest? Either one of y'all.
Size of it. I mean, the size. Back in the day, you had 279 teams competing there. I don't know what they're going to have this year. And the constrictions that started taking place down at the park the last couple of 3 years tightened that down a lot. But the size of it has always been, when you win, you've done well there because of the number of folks, but also because, as I said, I started out with Memphis in May, the circuit, and that's where you always wound up. That's always where that was your ultimate goal, is to go win a grand championship somewhere originally and be able to get your spot into the Memphis in May World Championship. And it's just carried over. I mean, every year, if I don't overcook but one, that's going to be the one I go cook, because that's where it all basically started for me, and I guess that's where it ended for me.
Yeah, you want to cook those. I mean, the American Royal, Jack Daniels, Houston, Memphis, but out of all of them, man, I've got 4 restaurants, and everybody comes to the door, they look around at the trophies that I got up there, and they're like, yeah, that's great, but have you won Memphis in May? And that's everybody's heard of that. Like it's as far as just the crossover. Nobody's heard of the American Royal outside of Kansas City, or very few people. But I swear, if somebody comes in, they've all heard of Memphis in May, and it's just as a competitor to validate, that's you. If you go in there and say, "No, I've never even cooked it," then you're not even a competition barbecue cook. A lot of people's minds, it's like, "Oh, you're out here cooking county fairs," and so Memphis is special just because it's. It's one of the big ones, and it's the one that people that aren't in barbecue associate with barbecue championships. So, it was nice to be able to hang a big check, for a pork shoulder on the wall, because you can point at that and say, yeah, man, we dug it in Memphis. And that I'll always cook it too. Those big ones, those are ones I'll always cook. I mean, that's why we do it. I'm not doing it. I love winning grand championships here, there, wherever. But man, we're here to win world championships, and you got to go out and play to do it, and that's why it's special to cook.
Think about it is Memphis and May has been going on since 1982. And I think KCBS came in line, 86, somewhere around there. Carolyn Wells and her husband originally were Memphis and May judges.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's. And
her, what was her husband's name? Gary?
Yeah, Gary Wells.
Mm-hmm. Gary Wells. They left and went and started KCBS when they left the Memphis and May family, I guess you might say.
That's cool.
Been going on a long time. I mean, 1982, that, to me, I'm a 62 mile, so 82 doesn't seem that far away, but that's going to hell. That was, what is it, 50 years almost, 40-something years?
Yeah, 40 years, man. That's a long time cooking barbecue.
That's a long time. That's a long time that they've been doing it down at the river. So
yeah, it's going to be weird this year. I mean, yeah, what do you think about that? Do you think that's going to affect things or the atmosphere, everything else?
I can tell you, 2010 or 11, they had the flood down there where the Mississippi rose up. I mean, it washed it out. And we had to cook at Tiger Lane then. And far as the teams, we all loved it. You're on asphalt,
sure,
no chance of mud, that kind of thing. But I'm going to tell you something. I mean, you're still in Memphis. You're still cooking for the championship. But it still don't have that same kind of vibe as you do when you're down on that river. Yeah. And as far as the spectator's point of view, I might give a pass this year and still fly in from wherever to come and party down there like the other 100,000 always have. But I'd like to make sure it's going to be back on that river next year before I spend my dollars and come back, because, me walking around and checking out the teams in a parking lot at a football stadium is one thing, but I want to be back at the river. And I like to be back in the river as a competitor too. I mean, even if I have to walk in the mud, if it happens to rain, whatever, it's just something about being in that park, doing that contest that makes it special.
Man, we've already got, the Royals, the sprawl, Memphis was always kind of like up, it grew up, everybody was tight together, and the Royals, the one that kind of sprawls out at the football stadium. So, yeah, man, I hope they move it back to the river. And even the Royal, after they left the bottoms, just doesn't have quite the same feel.
It doesn't. I told them when they moved it from there and went to Arrowhead Stadium, I didn't go.
Yeah,
I didn't go. I said, and I don't know what the reason was. I mean, they just had 400 or 500 teams down there in the old stockyards, and would they want 800 teams? I don't know, but I did go, and like I say, me and Brad are next door to each other there at the racetrack. And that's a good facility. I mean, good RV hookups and all that.
Yeah,
but I still rather be on the teams. Yeah, it is very comfortable, but I'd still rather be slopping in the mud, looking at that river, if we could.
Yeah, agreed.
That is awesome. So while you two are on here, is there anything either one of y'all want to ask each other a question?
How do you cook a whole hog? I'm just trying to be good. No, man.
Come by Sunday morning and I'll let you know.
Yeah, no shit, but might get a class right away.
Unless you win it, I'll come by and check you out on Sunday morning.
Well, I could probably see if we win it, man. I even after shoulder, you're like, we'll go back and look. Thank God we had a guy there filming it, because I don't even think we could tell you what the hell we did last year on that damn shoulder. We were sitting there, we were making it up on the fly, man. It just, just happened to work out. But we cooked that way a lot, so we have a good time. And Tim and I work well together, and that's one thing, you would think maybe, he's one of the few people that I trust that if he's going to take something and do something, that it's going to be done up to the quality that I would do it myself. And that's really valuable. There's not a lot of people in barbecue are that way. So, and, I think he feels the same way, where we can go off and do our different jobs. And we know, like, I know what Tim makes. Tim makes good food. I trust what Tim does. And so that really, we end up working pretty well together. We've done some contests. So we'll end up throwing the hog together, but it'll be a shit show getting it there. I can promise you that, man. It'll be a mess. We'll have probably some grease fires and some cuss words. I did make him put a freaking safety clip. We were down at the Kansas City at the Big 12 basketball tournament, and he's got this thing on a winch, and it's this huge lid, and he's lifting it up, and this winch just, it is groaning and everything. And I'm looking at that, and guys leaning in there cooking some food. I'm like, that guy's going to die. That thing is going to snap, and that thing is going to pop down on him. And I said, Tim, I am not getting in that damn drum unless you've got a, OSHA approve this thing up here and give me a safety clip on that deal.
That's too funny. Myron, you got anything you want to ask Brad?
What's y'all site number?
Uh-huh.
I don't even know that, man. We're right there. We're on a corner. I'm not even sure what our site number is. I'll have to look it up.
Ours is 301.
301.
I'm sure y'all's probably right there close to us.
Now, don't they do like? Correct me if I'm wrong. I probably am. Do they put all the hog teams together, all the shoulder teams together,
Yes.
the herd together?
Yes.
Okay.
Look it up.
The site we got, let me just go ahead and tell you about the cost, and then I'll be done and we can get off this thing. We still scrounging and getting packed up. Tracy's pulling out in the morning. 1996 through 2000 when you was on the Memphis Mace circuit, your spot was a 20 by 20 spot. That's what you want. If you want a grand somewhere, they announce that you'll be representing this contest at the Memphis May World Championships this year.
Oh,
Blah,
cool.
blah, blah. That was a $400 value back in the day. A $400. The reason I'm telling you this now, it was a 20 by 20. And if you wanted to pay the upgrade, you could. All right, let me tell you about and how they come up with these numbers. 54 foot long, because I got a 48-foot trailer, 34 feet wide. Now, how they get those, I don't know. That's the same way it is on the river. Just the dirt, or this time the asphalt. No electrical, no porta potty, just the asphalt. $5,200.
And don't you have to rent from them? Like you have to do everything through them, right?
Oh, to get the electrical RV 50 amp hookups, another $550. Porta potties, $450. No, excuse me, $150. They got their they got their licensed, or whoever they pick the tent companies. If you need a tent, if you need fencing, I think Mahaffey's the one this year. I mean, now they got it all inclusive where you can order all this stuff, but I'm telling you, for me to take my guys from Georgia there, hotel rooms, eating while we're there, 12, 15 grand.
Okay.
Before you win or have a shot to win anything.
Yeah. I mean, you win grand. You got to win grand to break even on the damn thing. I mean, that's
about right.
Is it a marketing? Is as much marketing for y'all as anything?
It is now.
It's all ego,
sure.
I think, for us.
Well, you still want to win.
You're damn right.
But it's kind of like what they used to say about NASCAR: win on Sunday, sales on Monday. It don't hurt. It don't hurt.
Yeah. So if I wanted to cook it, I would need to have a budget of $15,000 at least.
If you want to do
probably
it right,
10 be minimum. You could probably get away with, I would say.
Okay. I was just wondering I would love to do it at some point in time, but I don't know. Can anybody sign up for Memphis in May, or is it?
You can enter it. You can enter it, and then they'll pick. You know, they go and look at past winners, and people who's been a lot coming all the time, and I can tell you this, and I ain't by no means a rich guy, but it ain't a poor man's game no more. You can't fool this. You can't be working a regular job, and I'm not knocking that. Hell, I'm a regular job guy. You can't do that and go down there and spend this kind of money.
Right.
And corporate is taking this thing over. Back in the day when Tunica was really big at the time, and I don't think it's made a comeback yet, you still have them spending. You got some of the corporate teams down there that's just there to be there Wednesday through Saturday, and AutoZone or whoever it happens to be, feed all their employees in that area, all the corporate, and have the big parties. They got $100,000 plus budgets, to get the triple scaffolding. And, we hiring chefs to come in and cook every day. We're going to do 2 meals, 3 meals a day. We got the bar, we got the disco. We got all this kind of stuff rocking and rolling. And it's just a write-off. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of it. That's part of the fun.
I know quite a few teams that are going to cook for other people. Right, like you said, some corporations are having a team, and then somebody will go cook for them. Is that
right?
Yeah? Matt Osman says that looks like he thinks there's 45 whole hog teams, 60 shoulders, and 150 plus ribs.
Hell, that's more whole hog teams than I thought there was. That's the most whole hog teams that's been down since I started cooking. That's fact.
Everybody's swinging for the fences. Swinging hard. I'll leave my shoes down there by the Liberty Bowl. If anybody sees my flip-flops down there, pick them up and bring them to me. Because I swung out of my shoes.
Brian, this might have been a good year to get in the shoulder.
Sounds like it, right?
Ribs is down. Ribs is usually well over 200.
Oh, but let me tell you what, Chris and Tuffy, they're glad that you ain't over there in shoulder this year.
Yeah, man. Well, we're playing to win the whole thing, man. And what's funny is we got done with our presentation last year, and we won shoulder, and we're walking back, and you won the whole thing. We're walking back and said, God, we got exactly what we asked for. You know what I mean? I mean, we didn't ask for the whole damn thing. When the judges were there, we're sitting there and we have, Jack Daniel's pork trophies. We've got American Royal pork trophies. And we're sitting there and we're like, hey, man, because you're selling yourself. We like to add that Memphis and May pork shoulder trophy to it. And by God, that's what they gave us. And that's all we asked for. We screwed up. We should have been, we want that damn grand championship trophy. But this year, we're going to ask for the big one, man. We want to win the whole thing. So with that, respect the heck out of you, and we're doing all because we want to go cook against the best, and that's what we're going to do.
I believe Hogg is thoroughly got, especially this year, has got no reflection on, and I'm just saying the numbers. 45, I believe 45 of those Hogg cooks, I believe 30 plus of them could win it. I believe that because I know some of the Hogg cooks, and. Yeah. And now Branson brought his ass in there and just messed up the water.
Yeah, nobody ever called us smart. I can tell you that. We've been called many things, but asshole mostly, but not smart. So
I've been called that a bunch too myself in my life. About last night, I think I got called that.
I think both of you are great guys, and I do appreciate y'all coming on tonight talking Memphis and May. And I know it's a busy week for y'all. I know you got to get going. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I hope the best for both of you. I hope y'all, and don't they do finals? Do they do top 3 finals? Is that how
we go 1-2.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. I'll be watching for you. I don't know how I can watch it or whatever, but I'm going to do everything I can, find it on Facebook or whatever. I'm going to be looking for it because y'all two guys are two people I look up to in barbecue, and I thank you so much. How can people get in touch with you if they want to get in touch with your classes or shows, or is there anything you want to push before you go?
Just go to myronmixon.com for everything that I do. We also got a new YouTube channel that we've had up now a little over a month. It's doing really well. That's another thing that I jumped into, that it's hard to take time to film content because you got to have somebody editing it and all this kind of stuff. So you have to constantly be filming new content for it to be able to have a force in that. But other than that, I know Brad's got a pile of stuff. I got 2 restaurants, one in Hoboken and one in Alexandria, Virginia, right there in D.C. Anybody's up those ways, go by there and check me out. But other than that, when I see Brad up here in Memphis this week, I hope to have a drink with you, bro.
You bet, man. Let's get together and get one. Let's talk a little whole hog over there. Get some. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You can find me at Getting Basted anywhere, and then the Barbecue League. Obviously, we're on there, man. You want to check out some of our recipes, including we got caught lightning in a bottle. You talk about content last year. We actually had a film crew filming the whole thing, start to finish, of us cooking that hog last year, and we've got that over at the Barbecue League. So if you're looking for a little Memphis content, check that out. So anyway, looking forward to it. Yeah, Myron will grab a drink. We might even invite Tim along. Have somebody make fun over there, and man, it's gonna be a good time.
Sounds good.
Thank y'all so much. I hope you have a wonderful night. See everybody next week on Chewin the BBQ Fat. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you have a wonderful night. Good luck this week.
Y'all be good. All right, brother. Bye-bye.